on, everyone? Welcome to the Stock Market Morning Prep video for Wednesday, July 29th. Well, we did get that little bit of a retracement rally that we were anticipating early yesterday in the video, partly due to transportation sector. UPS came out with some good numbers, and it was rallying pretty much most of the day. Markets kind of reversed to right around 10:15 or so, and started making higher highs and higher lows pretty much most of the day. So that was a real good spot, good call. We also did say that we were at the 200-day moving average here on a daily chart. Pretty logical spot for a bounce, as well as some of our indicators that I showed you yesterday, that we were a little bit to the extreme, looking for some sort of a dead cat bounce, which we did get. Unfortunately, it was fueled more short covering than real buying. Now, where do we go from here? Well, we have Janet Yellen, coming out 2 o'clock Eastern time with an announcement. So I think we'll get maybe a couple of hours of trading, and then pretty much dead going into what she is going to say about interest rates. So now, well, the Fed had hinted on raising rates in September, but if they hold off until the latter part of the year, or even 2016, then I think the markets will run again to the upside. So it's anybody's guess, guys, really where we're headed here until after Janet Yellen speaks, and then we'll get a better handle on price action, and then we'll make new assessments on some good trade ideas, or at least a direction on where I think the markets are headed. Okay, I do think the markets are still a little weak, and we could be going into a couple more days of some weakness. But then once we get into August, and I don't mean just the first week of August, but I mean going into the second week, the end of next week, beginning, people start to, traders start to take some time off for August, go out their families, last minute vacations, and that's where the market generally, a path of least resistance is higher, so the markets just kind of grind higher, and that's when I think that you'll get that euphoric buying towards the end of the summer when nobody's around, push markets into September, and then at one point in time start to have some sort of a pullback, which I would deem into some sort of a correction. And that's what usually happens. Pullbacks turn into corrections, and that's where I'm looking at sometime September, maybe October. We'll not know until we get closer to, of course, September, October, and see how price action works out. Okay, so let's go run into the indexes. Really not much has changed here from yesterday. As you can see, nice big pop into this lower trend line area, this ascending triangle that we've been in for the last 6 months, 7 months. So we're just kind of hovering around here. You take a look at the IWM, barely got back above the 200-day moving average, but yet it is above it, so that's also a decent sign. Nice big hammer candle up in here, so we need to build on it. We need to take out yesterday's high pretty much in all of the indices to build on any type of retracement to at least the 20-day moving average here, okay? Again, this is our secondary leader, so at least it started to run back to the upside and recaptured its 200-day moving average. Transportation sector, again, good price action yesterday to the upside, again, because of UPS. So that it could be a good sign. Could this be some sort of a catalyst of possibly a change in direction? I mean, it's possible, but you could see here we're clearly in a downtrend. And if you could see, let me just change this real quick. Let's just get that here, and we're just going to keep that just like that. You could see making lower lows and lower highs here. We need to really break back above it, close it for a couple of days above this downtrend line to alleviate any downside pressure and to break this bearish symmetry, okay? So let's see what happens in the next couple of days. If that does happen and we get some sort of a bid in the transportation sector, then I do think that we might be able to at least rally like I am anticipating in the next couple of weeks, that we rally and then get everybody long when everybody's trying to get short here, and then of course that short squeeze that happens. Okay, diamonds, as you can see, the Dow Jones were well below the 200-day. It's going to need to get back above that, but if we can get back above yesterday's high, 176.26, then I think we can at least recapture that 200 by day's end today. Okay, but again, everything is hindering on what Janet Yellen is going to say. Lastly is the Qs. You can see the strongest of all five, and again, above the 50 and now above the 20 from yesterday's price action. So let's see what happens here. I'm starting to like a lot of the commodities that have been really beaten down. But remember, it doesn't matter what really the charts are saying, even though they're oversold, like oil and gold. It really matters on what really the dollar is going to do. If the dollar starts to rally, then we're going to have continued weakness in commodities. If the dollar breaks down and starts to sell off again and starts to retrace the big move, then I think we'll get some sort of a bid in there. But definitely something to look forward to, in especially gold coming into September. Seasonal strength starts right about now and going into September, so could be catching a little bit of a bid. I'd like to see gold flush down to that 1072 spike the other day and hold again. That'll be a double bottom, good and easy place to manage your risk. And then let's see if we can catch some sort of a retracement back to the upside. Right, guys, I hope that helps. A little bit lack of information, only because now we need to see what Janet Yellen says, and then we're going to redirect, change, or adapt to our trading plan based on what she says and what the market does later on today. Have a great day, and we'll speak to you tomorrow.